Right now on ABC 10 News at 4 o'clock, new information about the boat captain accused in a deadly human smuggling operation. What court documents reveal about the passengers on the boat that capsized off Point Loma. Plus, the moment a teenage boy and his mother reunite years after being separated at the border. And an in-depth look at the possibility of needing a COVID-19 booster shot.
ABC 10 News at 4 starts now.
New court documents reveal more about the boat captain accused in a deadly human smuggling operation off the coast of Point Loma. 3 people were killed, more than 24 others were hurt. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kimberly Hunt. And as ABC 10 News reporter Melissa Masiha explains, the victims paid a lot of money to be smuggled into the U.S.
A chaotic scene Sunday. A boat struck rocks and broke apart near the tide pools at the Cabrillo National Monument. A woman and 2 men, all Mexican nationals, died. Others rushed to the hospital. Antonio Hurtado, a U.S. citizen, is accused of trying to smuggle 32 people into the United States. Court documents showed most of those on the boat said they paid between $15,000 to $18,500 to be smuggled into the country. The majority were from Mexico. At least one said he was from Guatemala. According to the Department of Homeland Security, there were nearly 1,500 known migrant deaths near the U.S.-Mexico border between fiscal year 2015 and 2019. The report shows 66 deaths were water-related in 2019.
The smugglers really just don't care about the people they're exploiting. All they care about is lining their own pocket for profit.
According to the Border Patrol, the agency documented a record 309 maritime smuggling events in fiscal year 2020. Hurtado, also charged with assaulting an agent, accused of deliberately hitting a Border Patrol agent in the head with his knee. Melissa Masiha, ABC 10 News.
According to court documents, at least one person on that boat is still critical in the hospital and has yet to be interviewed by law enforcement. As the county makes progress on vaccinations and lowering the case rate, there is a new concern now regarding coronavirus. The county recorded its first case of the India variant of the virus. The variant is suspected of causing the overwhelming case numbers in India right now. According to the Union Tribune, a woman in her 20s was infected. She had no prior medical conditions and was hospitalized in April. And a California appeals court upheld Governor Newsom's use of emergency powers during the pandemic. This overturns the lower court's finding that Newsom had gone too far in his use of legislative power. The governor issued several orders under the California Emergency Services Act, and those included halting evictions, suspending school deadlines, and allowing businesses more time to pay taxes. And getting your COVID-19 vaccine just got a little easier. Today, CVS announced it is accepting walk-ins. That means you don't need to make an appointment to get vaccinated. The pharmacy chain is offering walk-ins at more than 1,000 locations across California. A federal judge struck down the CDC's nationwide eviction ban, saying the agency overstepped. It was put in place to help keep cash-strapped renters in their homes during the pandemic. The judge vacated the freeze. The ruling was a win for property owners, landlords, and realtors. The moratorium was first enacted under former President Trump and later extended through June. It's unclear what will happen now.
New projections out today are offering hope about the future of the pandemic. The projections from 6 different research groups show COVID-19's toll on the U.S. going down dramatically by the end of July. But the researchers warn we could see a substantial increase in hospitalizations and deaths if unvaccinated people don't keep wearing masks and social distancing. Today, Canada's health regulator authorized Pfizer's COVID vaccine for kids ages 12 to 15. The FDA is expected to make a decision on this early next week. After that, the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices will make a recommendation based on the data. The CDC director says kids ages 12 to 15 could be getting COVID vaccines in less than 2 weeks. A rebound is happening for small businesses as restrictions are relaxed. In a new survey, 85% report they were fully open for business in March. Nearly 2/3 say they're now paying their workers full wages without worrying about that cost. About half say customer demand is back to how it was before the pandemic started. Meantime, the Paycheck Protection Program to help small businesses is now out of money. The Small Business Administration says it ran out nearly a month before the program was slated to close. But the SBA says it will still accept some new PPP applications for businesses in underserved areas. Money is still coming for live music venues, theaters, and museums who have been waiting to get that help. The SBA says those who have applied for the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant can expect to see that help by the end of the month. More than 10,000 have applied so far.
2 Bay Area teenagers were convicted in the 2019 murder of an Italian police officer. Today, a jury in Rome sentenced Gabriele Natalier and Finnegan Elder to life in prison. They were part of a drug bust gone wrong that ended with Officer Mario Rega being stabbed to death. Elder and Natalier were indicted on several charges, including homicide and attempted extortion. After years of children being separated from their parents, the Biden administration is working to reunite migrant families. One of those reunions happened at our San Ysidro port of entry this week. ABC 10 News reporter Nate Holmes shows us the moment and what's next for these families.
I was in the car and I was just like, this is finally happening, and I'm really going to be reunified with her after all these times.
This is the moment 15-year-old Brian was able to hug his mom after being away from her for 3 years. His mother, Sandra Ortiz, fled Mexico, fearing for her family's safety. She was deported from the U.S. during the Trump administration without her son.
You have to imagine the kind of relief these families felt by being reunited, but also the kind of hope that is sent for all the other families that have been separated.
Attorney Renata Castro, founder of Castro Legal Group, says the separation of families while seeking asylum is a matter of legality versus morality.
The law, American asylum law, does not say that children have to be separate from their parents when pursuing asylum protection.
Castro says now under the Biden administration, families are being processed as a unit. But for migrant families who are still waiting to connect with loved ones, Castro says it may take some time.
Relatives or parents who have been deported to Central American countries, to name a few, and how do you locate them, some in rural areas? It is going to be an arduous process.
Castro says there are also questions surrounding what happens when these families are together again, if they will be deported or given the chance to pursue asylum. But for 15-year-old Brian, he's just happy to see his mom again.
I was talking to her on the phone and everything, but still not making sure, like seeing her in person, being able to give her a hug and everything. It was just.
Nate Holmes, ABC 10 News.
Today, we spoke with the parents of a 21-year-old hiker who died at Mission Trails. Max Lanai went for a run in January when it started to rain. He lost his footing crossing a river, fell, and died. His parents have raised about $500,000 to build a bridge in the spot where he fell to keep others safe. And last night, the Park Citizens Advisory Committee voted to recommend the Max Lanai Memorial Bridge move forward.
We've gone from inertia and resistance to embracing the project and really now getting to work on the mechanics of the project, including funding.
The project now goes to the Mission Trails Regional Park Task Force May 20th to get approved. The bridge could cost a total of $2 million. Funding is still to be decided, including whether it will be fully private or a private-public partnership.
A decision to delay. Facebook's oversight board today saying a ban of former President Donald Trump from the site and Instagram can stay in place for now. But it also said an indefinite suspension was unreasonable, and essentially, Facebook avoided its responsibilities by referring the case to them. It gave Facebook 6 months to re-examine its penalty.
The opinion has all the hallmarks of a judicial opinion without the citation of actual law or precedent, but it's a well-reasoned opinion.
Facebook responded in part saying it's pleased the board has recognized that the unprecedented circumstances justified the exceptional measure it took. Now, in an email to supporters, Trump called the decision a total disgrace and in part says free speech has been taken away from the President of the United States. But experts say social media is well within its rights.
this decision reinforces the fact that Facebook is a private entity. It's a private company that has a public platform. And within the terms of service, Facebook and any social media entity is empowered to make its own decisions of who can use the platform and who violates the terms of service.
The director for the Tully Center for Free Speech says Trump will always have a platform. He said he would be more concerned if this happened to a private individual who is in the gray area of violating terms of service. Regardless, it's a politically divisive issue that prolongs the debate and divide, but could also generate unity.
And perhaps one thing that does bring us together is everybody's dissatisfaction with social media. Both parties sort of agree that there are problems with social media,